There is a rare and enigmatic power in silence, a power that only the truly wise understand. For the chosen ones, silence is not an escape or omission, it is a calculated strategy, a spiritual armor that protects their essence while revealing hidden truths. When you discover that someone close to you, a friend, partner, or even a family member, is using manipulation, lies, or disrespect to maintain control, what do? Most people would scream, confront, demand explanations. But the chosen ones know that this is exactly what the manipulator desires, an emotional reaction, something they can twist to fuel their narrative. Instead, they retreat to the fortress of silence, where calm transforms into strategy and patience into victory. It is there that they connect with something greater, a divine discernment that shows them the way without the need to raise their voice. You may not realize it, but there is something profoundly powerful in the simple act of observing in silence. While others get lost in arguments or attempt to prove their points, the chosen ones understand that the truth does not need loud defenders. It emerges on its own, inevitably. God gives the chosen ones a rare gift, the ability to see through masks, to perceive the true essence of people and situations. This means they do not need to search for evidence or unmask anyone directly, the answers are revealed to them, subtly but undeniably. Imagine what it would be like to walk through the world with such clarity, knowing that nothing escapes the divine light guiding your steps. This is what sets the chosen ones apart. They do not react in the heat of the moment because they know they are always one step ahead, supported by a truth the manipulator can never reach. It is not easy to face the reality that someone you love or trust is trying to manipulate you. It is a pain that cuts deep, shaking faith in people and often triggering an internal emotional storm. However, the chosen ones learn that it is not just about protecting their heart but about keeping their soul intact. When you react with anger or try to expose the manipulator, you give them exactly what they want, control over your emotions. But when you choose silence, you take that power away from them. Silence is a powerful weapon because it forces the other to face the void, the absence of response that dismantles their strategies. The manipulator becomes lost, unable to understand why their tricks do not work. And in that space, it is the chosen one who grows stronger, while the manipulator crumbles under their own lies. This principle of silence as an unshakable force is something we find even in Scripture. Jesus, faced with unjust accusations, chose silence. He did not need to justify the truth because he knew that his essence was stronger than any lie spoken against him. The chosen ones follow this example. They understand that in a noisy and chaotic world, true power lies in those who know when to speak and, more importantly, when not to. Through silence, they protect their energy, avoid futile confrontations, and align themselves with divine wisdom. This silence is not a sign of weakness but a reflection of the inner strength of those who know their place in God's greater plan. It is a way of telling the world that you are above petty battles and that your vision extends far beyond the present moment. Remaining silent, however, is an act that requires more strength than many imagine. There are moments when the desire to confront the manipulator is almost irresistible, when anger and hurt threaten to overflow. But it is precisely in these moments that the chosen ones show their true strength. They turn inward, seeking the calm that comes from their connection with God, and find the courage to wait. This strategic silence is not passivity, it is active waiting, where the soul strengthens, and the mind prepares for the next step. It is like a warrior waiting for the perfect moment to act, knowing that every move must be precise and intentional. Thus, the chosen one not only overcomes the immediate challenge but emerges even stronger, with renewed faith in their journey and a deeper understanding of their purpose. For the chosen ones, the world is not just a series of random events but a stage where truth is continuously revealed. This ability to discern what is hidden, to perceive disguised intentions, is not the result of human skills but a divine gift. God entrusts the chosen ones with a vision that goes beyond the obvious, an almost supernatural sense of understanding the invisible dynamics that govern relationships and situations. This places them in a uniquely advantageous position. While others are deceived by smooth words or empty promises, the chosen one sees beyond the curtain of appearances. They recognize the traps before falling into them, even if they do not fully understand how they came to that conclusion. It is as if an invisible light illuminates the darkest corners, showing the right path to follow. This divine revelation does not come from an obsessive search for answers but from trusting their connection with the Creator. The chosen one knows that truth always finds a way to emerge, even when everything seems to conspire against it. That is why they do not despair in the face of murky situations. While others expend energy trying to control or expose, the chosen one observes, reflects, and waits. They understand that truth, when revealed at the right time, has a greater impact than any premature confrontation. It is a lesson in patience and faith, a demonstration that God works in His own time and in ways manipulators cannot anticipate. Think of Joseph, the dreamer, who was betrayed by his brothers and sold into slavery. He did not confront his brothers, accuse them, or try to justify his innocence. Instead, he trusted in divine providence, and God elevated him to a position of power in Egypt. When the truth came to light, it was so clear and undeniable that even his brothers bowed before him. This is the power of divine revelation that accompanies the chosen ones. They do not need to seek revenge or validation. God takes care of that for them. Joseph's story reminds us that while the manipulator believes they are in control, it is the chosen one, with their patience and trust in God, who truly prevails. This ability to see the truth without seeking evidence can sometimes feel like a burden. After all, how can one stay calm when knowing that someone close is plotting against them? Yet it is precisely this calm that gives the chosen one their advantage. They do not need to stoop to the manipulator's level. They know that their strength does not come from confrontations but from their connection to the divine. This awareness is not just a gift but a responsibility. It is up to the chosen one to use this discernment to protect their heart, guide their steps, and, above all, remain faithful to their greater purpose. The chosen ones learn to trust their discernment because they know it is infallible when aligned with God's will. It is not about paranoia or baseless distrust but a perception that goes beyond the rational. It is like standing in the middle of a storm and still being able to hear a soft melody in the distance. This ability protects them, guides them, and prepares them to face the challenges that come with their journey. And while others struggle in the shadows of uncertainty, the chosen ones stand firm, knowing that the divine light will always lead them to the truth. Silence is much more than the absence of words. It is a space of strength where the chosen ones find clarity and wisdom. While the world demands immediate answers, emotional reactions, and elaborate explanations, the chosen one understands that true strength lies in resisting the pressure to respond instantly. The manipulator, who thrives on provoking reactions, feeds on the confusion they create, but they find an impenetrable barrier in silence. By not reacting, the chosen one disarms the other's intentions, leaving them lost in their own labyrinth of strategies. Silence is not just a choice, it is a declaration that your inner peace cannot be violated. It is a reminder that control does not belong to the one who shouts the loudest, but to the one who observes calmly and acts at the right moment. There is something profoundly unsettling for the manipulator when the chosen one remains silent. They expect shouting, justifications, tears, or any reaction that might help reinforce their narrative. When that doesn't happen, frustration takes over. The manipulator realizes they have lost control of the situation. It is as if the chosen one is shielded by an invisible barrier, a force field that neutralizes their attacks. But this silence is not merely a defense, it is also a strategy. It is a way to shift the focus away from emotions and return to a clear and objective analysis of what is happening. While the manipulator struggles to regain control, the chosen one is already several steps ahead, planning their next move with surgical precision. There is a profound spiritual wisdom in remaining silent amidst chaos. It is like standing in the eye of a hurricane, where everything around you is destruction, but in the center, there is calm. This state of tranquility allows the chosen one to maintain balance even when everything seems to be falling apart. It is a reflection of their connection with God, who strengthens and guides them. When Jesus remained silent before Pilate, he gave us an eternal example of how the truth does not need to be defended with shouting or confrontation. The chosen ones understand this principle and apply it to their lives. They know that their dignity and strength do not depend on immediate responses or proving something to someone. They find peace in the knowledge that the truth, like light, cannot be hidden for long. Silence is also a form of protection. It prevents the chosen ones from being dragged into useless arguments or manipulated by negative emotions. Every word spoken in anger is a weapon that can be used against you. But by remaining silent, the chosen one takes away that possibility from the other. They guard their words as one guards a treasure, knowing there is a right time to use them. This prudence is part of what makes them so different. It is not just about self-control but about a wisdom that comes from their spiritual connection. They know that by preserving their energy and focus, they are protecting something far more valuable, their inner peace and purpose. Remaining silent, however, does not mean ignoring or tolerating wrongdoing. On the contrary, it is a way to resist wisely and strategically. The chosen one knows that justice is not carried out by human hands but by God, who sees all. Trusting in this divine justice is what gives them the courage not to react immediately. It is what allows them to observe instead of attack, reflect instead of defend. This silence, when combined with discernment and faith, becomes a tool of transformation. It not only disarms the manipulator but also strengthens the chosen one, who learns to navigate life's storms with grace and wisdom. When the manipulator demands something from you, be it your attention, a conciliatory gesture, or even what they perceive as a victory, the instinctive reaction might be to resist or refuse. However, the chosen ones understand that there is power in giving what the other desires, but in a strategic and emotionally detached manner. This act is not submission, it is a way to disarm the manipulator, denying them the pleasure of a battle. When you give what they want, you do so not as someone who has lost something, but as someone who chooses to offer, showing that your essence does not depend on small victories or concessions. It is like sacrificing a piece in a chess game to win the entire match, a smart and calculated move that only those in control of themselves can execute. This symbolic act of giving carries within it a powerful paradox. While the manipulator believes they have won, it is the chosen one who is truly in control. By yielding, you strip the confrontation of its meaning, leaving the other confused and without strategies. Think of it as a dance where the other tries to lead, but you choose to take the steps they desire consciously and without emotional involvement. This requires a rare inner strength, as it is not easy to act so calculatedly in emotionally intense situations. But this ability to offer without attachment to the outcome demonstrates the true strength of the chosen ones, a strength that comes from their emotional independence and their connection to something far greater than the human ego. Before we continue, if you feel alone and misunderstood as a chosen one, our ebook is a valuable resource. Find guidance to illuminate your path and understand your unique gifts. Get it now and gain access to our exclusive Discord community, where you will find support and understanding. Join us and share your experiences in a welcoming space. Plus, get access to unique and exclusive content. Check out the first pinned comment here on the video. Imagine a situation where someone is deliberately trying to provoke you, demanding a reaction or a response. Instead of resisting or arguing, you offer exactly what they want, but in a controlled and strategic manner. For instance, in a workplace conflict, a colleague might seek your attention to fuel a dispute. Instead of engaging, you respond calmly, agreeing with something irrelevant, and leave the scene. This attitude not only confuses the other but also demonstrates your emotional superiority. You are not caught up in their game because you know that your peace and purpose are more important than any manipulation attempt. This ability to give and withdraw is what places the chosen ones at an advantage. The chosen ones understand that giving is not losing. On the contrary, it is a demonstration of strength, for only those who have control over themselves can offer without attachment to what is given. This act of giving is like releasing a balloon on a windy day, a deliberate and intentional gesture that demonstrates detachment and freedom. When you offer something to the manipulator, even if it is just the illusion that they have won, you are in fact reaffirming your own power. After all, the true victory is not in winning every battle but in keeping your essence intact. This is something the manipulator will never understand, for they are trapped in a cycle of control and insecurity. Strategic giving, however, does not mean compromising your values or accepting disrespect. It is an art that requires discernment and self-control. You give what is necessary to disarm the manipulator, but never anything that would compromise your integrity or purpose. It's like giving a thief a fake ring to protect the true treasure. The Chosen One knows what truly matters and never allows the manipulator to touch that sacred part of themselves. This ability to give without being affected is a reflection of their connection with God, who teaches them to act with wisdom and prudence in every situation. Silent withdrawal is an act that confuses, disarms, and, above all, protects the Chosen Ones. While many see leaving as a gesture of weakness or surrender, the Chosen Ones understand that there is immeasurable power in knowing the right time to exit the stage. This final move is more than just walking away. It is a demonstration of confidence in oneself and in divine justice. By withdrawing, you disconnect from the emotional chains the manipulator tries to use against you, making it clear that your peace is worth more than any dispute. It is an act of liberation that only those who truly know their inner strength can accomplish. Silent withdrawal is not an escape, it is a spiritual victory. When you withdraw silently, something magical happens. The manipulator, who relies on your reaction to maintain control, is suddenly confronted with a void. This void forces them to face their own instability, as the absence of conflict leaves them ungrounded. While they try to understand why their tactics didn't work, you are already far away, in a place of peace and renewal. This distance creates a lasting impact, as it makes clear that you are not a puppet in their game. The Chosen Ones understand that true strength is not in staying in an unnecessary battle but in knowing when to leave and allowing divine justice to take its course. There is something deeply inspiring about the image of someone withdrawing in silence, without fanfare or elaborate explanations. It is like a river changing its course without causing turmoil, yet its strength is undeniable. This withdrawal is a reflection of the Chosen One's confidence in their intrinsic worth and their connection with God. They know they don't need to prove anything to anyone because their identity doesn't depend on external approval or validation. By leaving the scene, they deliver a powerful message: my peace is non-negotiable. This message is not just heard but felt, echoing in the heart of the manipulator and everyone around them. However, withdrawing silently requires emotional and spiritual strength. It's not easy to turn your back on something that hurt you deeply, especially when you feel the urge to clarify, confront, or even seek revenge. But the Chosen Ones know that this urge is a trap. They understand that by leaving without drama, they are preserving their energy and avoiding being dragged further into chaos. It is in this moment that their connection with God becomes their greatest ally. They turn to Him for guidance and strength and move forward with the certainty that the truth will prevail at the right time. Silent withdrawal is also an act of self-sufficiency. It demonstrates that you don't need external closure to move forward because your peace comes from within. It is a reminder that the Chosen Ones have an inexhaustible source of spiritual strength that empowers them to abandon what no longer serves their purpose. This departure is not an end, but a beginning, the start of a chapter where you can thrive without the shadows of manipulation. By withdrawing, you not only protect your essence but also reaffirm your commitment to your divine purpose, trusting that God is in control of everything. For the Chosen Ones, their connection with God is not just an abstract belief but the foundation upon which they build their inner strength. This spiritual bond sets them apart and gives them the discernment to navigate through chaos. When faced with manipulation or betrayal, instead of succumbing to anger or despair, they turn to prayer and meditation, seeking clarity and peace from the divine. This trust in God is an act of surrender, an acknowledgement that a greater plan is at work. While the manipulator clings to their human strategies, the Chosen Ones rest in the certainty that they don't need to act impulsively. God, who sees all, is already working to ensure the truth prevails, and that truth always emerges at the perfect moment. Forgiveness, often seen as a gesture of weakness, is actually a powerful act of liberation that the Chosen Ones deeply understand. They know that forgiveness is not for the benefit of the other but for their own inner peace. It doesn't mean justifying or forgetting the wrongdoing but refusing to carry the burden of resentment. This forgiveness is born of faith, of understanding that divine justice is relentless and infallible. Choosing to forgive is an act of greatness, a demonstration of spiritual strength that frees the Chosen One from the emotional chains imposed by the manipulator. And by forgiving, they reaffirm their connection with God, living as reflections of His love and compassion, even amid the most painful adversities. The scriptures offer countless examples of how silence and patience are powerful spiritual weapons for the chosen ones. Proverbs 19 verse 11 teaches, "A man's wisdom gives him patience, it is to his glory to overlook an offense." This verse encapsulates the essence of the chosen one's path, responding with calm and inner strength, ignoring provocations that seek to divert them from their purpose. David, pursued by Saul, did not retaliate even when he had the opportunity. He chose to trust in divine justice, which exalted him at the right time. These biblical stories are not merely accounts of the past but practical guides for the present, showing that the chosen ones, when anchored in God, are unshakable in the face of life's storms. The journey of the chosen ones is not just about overcoming challenges but about using them as tools for spiritual growth. Every situation of manipulation or betrayal is a learning opportunity, a chance to refine their faith and strengthen their connection with God. Rather than focusing on the temporary losses that may occur, the chosen ones focus on the greater purpose, knowing they are being shaped for something more significant. This perspective transforms each trial into a step toward fulfilling their divine calling. The manipulator, limited by their earthly perspective, can never comprehend the greatness of someone who chooses eternal purpose over momentary victories. The divine protection that surrounds the chosen ones is one of the greatest testaments to their connection with God. While they face emotional, spiritual, or even physical attacks, they know they are under the Creator's care. No weapon formed against them will prosper because God's hand is constantly guarding them. This certainty allows them to move forward with courage, even amid the most challenging circumstances. This protection does not mean the absence of difficulties, but the assurance that nothing they face will be greater than the strength they have in God. It is this unwavering sense of security that keeps them steadfast, even when everything around them seems to be falling apart. When the chosen ones choose silence and withdrawal, they create something the manipulator cannot handle, a void. This void acts like a mirror, forcing the manipulator to confront their own insufficiency and inner disorder. Manipulators thrive in chaotic environments where they can manipulate emotions and narratives to their advantage. But in the face of the chosen one's impenetrable silence, their strategy crumbles. They find themselves trapped in a cycle of self-confrontation because there is no reaction to exploit or emotion to distort. This moment of confusion becomes the chosen one's greatest weapon, as they expose the manipulator's vulnerabilities and force them to face their instability without lifting a finger or saying a word. The absence of confrontation also has a profound psychological impact on the manipulator, who often cannot comprehend why their tactics have failed. They anticipate resistance, emotional outbursts, or justifications, anything that allows them to reaffirm their control. But the silence of the chosen ones breaks this dynamic, leaving the manipulator directionless. This confusion often leads to a state of self-reflection, where they begin to realize that their actions are not having the desired effect. While the manipulator rarely admits this, they are forced to acknowledge that their approach may not be as infallible as they believed. This can mark the beginning of a potential transformation, even if it is not the chosen one's primary goal. Beyond disarming the manipulator, the silence of the chosen ones also plants a seed of change. Even without direct intention, this behavior can inspire the other to reevaluate their actions and motivations. It's like throwing a stone into a still lake, the effects ripple outward subtly but significantly. The manipulator, confronted by the absence of reaction and the power of silence, begins to question the effectiveness of their methods and, in some cases, the very essence of who they are. This transformation may take time and is not always visible, but it serves as evidence that the chosen one's actions not only protect them but also influence others in profound ways. However, the chosen ones do not rely on this change to move forward. They know that their peace and purpose cannot be contingent on the behavior of others. They act in alignment with their essence and values, trusting that every gesture, no matter how subtle, has an impact on the invisible fabric of human spirituality. This is why their boundaries are non-negotiable. Silence and withdrawal are not merely acts of self-preservation but powerful declarations that their energy and time will not be wasted on battles that hold no value. This stance not only protects the chosen ones but elevates them, reaffirming their position as individuals of divine strength and purpose. The manipulator often resists the unyielding resolve of the chosen ones, intensifying their tactics in a desperate bid to regain control. Yet, the harder they push, the clearer their fragility becomes. The silence of the chosen ones acts as an impenetrable fortress, deflecting every attack. Faced with this unshakable serenity, manipulators begin to unravel, exposing their own vulnerabilities. This moment affirms the spiritual superiority of the chosen ones, not through force or conflict, but through their unwavering calm, a strength rooted in their divine connection with God, who empowers them to remain steadfast in peace. The chosen one's confidence is grounded in a profound understanding of their purpose and essence, transcending pride or the need for validation. They refuse to engage in the manipulator's emotional games, recognizing that doing so would cede power that is not theirs to give. Their identity is anchored in their connection with God, enabling them to face challenges with grace. They walk with assurance that their dignity and mission remain intact, regardless of circumstances. This quiet confidence, often misunderstood as indifference, is instead the hallmark of a soul at peace, unwavering and deeply aligned with its Creator. This inner peace, cultivated intentionally, is a sacred refuge where the chosen ones find strength. Through prayer and meditation, they guard their souls against the chaos of external circumstances, creating a sanctuary untouched by the world's confusion. Anchored in divine peace, they remain steadfast even as everything around them collapses. This state of calm is not only a shield against attacks but also an inspiration for others. Observers see their resilience, their ability to face storms without losing direction, and are reminded of the power of mastering oneself while staying true to a higher purpose. The freedom of the chosen ones lies in releasing everything that does not serve their divine purpose. Letting go of fears, expectations, and limiting connections empowers them to live authentically, trusting that God provides all they need at the perfect time. This detachment is not renunciation but the ultimate form of freedom, enabling them to inspire others by example. They prioritize peace and dignity over unnecessary battles, choosing intentional actions over impulsive reactions. In doing so, they leave a legacy of wisdom and transformation, showing others the profound strength in living with purpose and faith. The journey of the chosen ones is living proof that true strength is not in shouting louder or reacting impulsively but in acting with wisdom, patience, and divine connection. Every step along the way, from strategic silence to quiet withdrawal, demonstrates that spiritual victory is achieved not through direct confrontation but through trust in a higher purpose. You carry within yourself the power to transform any situation, to keep your peace untouched, and to move forward with the certainty that you are aligned with something eternal and unshakable. If this message resonated with you, give it a like by clicking the button below and subscribe to the channel now to receive more videos on how to face and overcome every obstacle that comes your way. Also, share this video with others who need to hear this message. Let's strengthen our community of chosen ones because together, we are an unstoppable force. Leave a comment below sharing how you are overcoming your spiritual battles. We want to hear your testimony, and your story could inspire many others. I want to express my deepest gratitude to everyone supporting us through Buy Me a Coffee. Your support helps us improve our videos every day and continue offering the best content. If you would like to support us, the link is also in the first pinned comment. Stay with us and watch the recommended video appearing on the screen now, or continue exploring the playlist of the secrets of the chosen ones. Each episode was created to guide you deeper into your essence, revealing all the power and potential within you. Thank you so much for being here and for being part of this community. See you in the next video. May your path be filled with strength and light. Until next time.